Dan Wootton is finally axed from GB News as Ofcom rules against the channel in a misogyny row. We're going to read into this more from Byline Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Byline Times with the headline that Dan Wootton has been finally axed from GB News as Ofcom rules against a channel in misogyny row. The presenter was suspended from the channel in September after his exchange with Laurence Fox. Guys, while you're here, before I give my initial thoughts, if you can, hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Finally. So for those who have been subscribers of mine for quite a long time, now, you know that we covered extensively here on this channel Dan Wootton, the stories about him, consistently in line with the fantastic work that Byline Times had on him, the stories that that people had shared about his actions, and not just from this, not just from the exchange that he's had with Laurence Fox, but the previous stories as well. Still, Dan Wootton is able to walk free. Still, Dan Wootton has not faced questions or action yet, despite the fact that Byline Times had sufficient evidence of that. So while I'm glad that he's gone from GB News, I'm still furious that he's still not had any kind of accountability from them. Back then, I knew it wasn't going to be straight away. I knew it was going to take some time, but it's now March 2024, and we still haven't heard nothing. And something tells me that the police are kind of trying not to pursue this and trying not to. And I generally mean this sincerely. I really, really hope Byline Times do not allow this man to get away with this, to keep the pressure on him, keep the pressure on the police to pursue these allegations, because they are serious ones and they have many witnesses and testimonies to back up this as well. They must continue to chase him for his actions. I'll have a bunch of links here for you guys to check out. That'll pop up in the top right hand corner of this screen if you guys want to go back and read the stories that I've shared through Byline Times and their fantastic work. And I'm also going to put links in the description to their YouTube channel as well as their subscription, because they really do wonderful work, and they're not run by like a media mongol or some filthy rich donor. It's all by individual donations and subscribers of the Byline Times, which allows them to do what they do. So let's read into the story, you guys. So Dan Wootton has finally been axed from his £600,000 a year GB News role. £600,000 to hear that guy talk. £600,000. After the broadcaster regulator upheld a complaint over the misogyny row which saw him suspended from the channel 5 months ago. Wootton has been off air since 27th of September last year, when he and Laurence Fox made derogatory comments about a female journalist on Dan Wootton Tonight, which resulted in 8,867 complaints to Ofcom, making it 2023's most complained about broadcast. In its judgment, which found that GB News was in breach of generally accepted standards, Ofcom revealed it had recently been sent new evidence by lawyers for the channel, which had previously been unable to provide an internal employment process. The judgment, released on Monday, said on Friday the 1st of March 2024, our solicitors on behalf of the licensed GB News sent Ofcom new evidence which it has been unable to send previously due to an internal employment process. The solicitors said this information supported the licensee's position that it had asked Mr. Wootton to read out an apology, and he refused. See, this is the thing. These people know they are in the wrong, and they refuse to apologise for their actions in any way, shape or form. I hate these people who don't accept their premise when they have been found to have been wrong or in their wrongdoing and what they think was inappropriate, and they just don't apologise for it. They're so snobbish, so selfish, these people. They really are. He had been unable to give Ofcom this information until this point, as it was considered unfair to Mr. Wootton during an employment process. The licensee asked Ofcom to delay publication of the decision so that Ofcom could consider the information. Given this detail, the publication of Ofcom's decision seemingly confirms that Wootton's internal employment process with GB News is now over. Wootton has also been removed from the channel's list of presenters online. The journalist announced last month that the two police investigations into him had been concluded, with no further action being taken. This really triggered me. I cannot believe that there's no action here when the evidence from Byline Times is very strong. While GB News did not respond to a request for comment regarding Wootton's employment status, an insider told Byline Times he's definitely gone for good. It is not known whether Wootton received a payoff as part of his departure or whether he retains his shareholdings in the channel. The newspaper revealed in January that Wootton is preparing to return to screens on Rumble, the free speech platform hosted former comedian Russell Brand since his YouTube earnings ban following his rape allegations that he denies. Another source said that Wootton is considering a move to the US, which he will see voters head to the polls in November's presidential election. His lawyer, Donald Blaney, has business links to Rebecca Mercier, a billionaire Donald Trump donor. As we can see the re-election of US President Donald Trump in November, Dan hopes his polaristic, hard-right rhetoric will do well in America, the source said. He also knows his mainstream media career and the UK is over and wants to start where he can past behaviours are less likely to follow him around. At the weekend, Wootton posted a photograph of himself on Instagram smiling with both hands in the air outside Trump's Turnberry Hotel in air, which he captured. What separates the winners from the losers, how a person reacts to each new twist of fate. This man has gotten away with things, and it's kind of makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. I can't believe they found no more action was needed. The police. I can't believe that. I just cannot believe that, based on everything that we've read and gone through Byline Times on this channel. I can't believe that. I really am quite dumbfounded by it. Actor turned activist Laurence Fox condemned after asking what self-respecting man would climb into bed with political journalist Ava Evans during Wootton's live GB News show on September 26, another disgusting individual. Wootton could be seen smiling and laughing through Fox's remarks before adding a touch of balance, and that Evans had qualified the comments she had made, which the two men were discussing, calling her a very beautiful woman. Ofcom launched an investigation into Wootton's show under Rule 2.3 of the Broadcasting Code, in which broadcasters must ensure that material which may cause offence is justified by the context. The regulator found that Fox's remarks consistently a highly personal attack on Miss Evans and were potentially highly offensive to viewers. It also said it has significant concerns about GB News' editorial control of its live output, and that it required the channel to provide further detailed information about its compliance practices in this area. The comments reduced her contribution to a broadcast discussion on mental health in her professional capacity as a political journalist to a judgment on whether she or women like her who publicly express their political opinions were sexually desirable to men, Ofcom said in its ruling. As such, we consider that Mr. Fox's comments were degrading, demeaning both to Miss Evans and women in general, and were clearly and unambiguously misogynistic. It added that Wootton's reaction and limited challenge did not mitigate the potential for offence, and instead exacerbated it by contributing to the narrative in which a woman's value was judged by her physical appearance. It added that no apology was made after the interview in which Mr. Fox in the remainder of his 2-hour programme, nor there were any editorial techniques were used to address the potential for offence. While Ms. Wootton had remained suspended on full pay, Fox was sacked last September. This is the second time that Ofcom has asked GB News to attend meetings at our office. It first made a request in last May after it found the broadcaster breached broadcasting rules when it aired unopposed claims about conservative vaccines from guest Dr. Naomi Wolf. Evans, Politics Joe political correspondent, said she is pleased that Ofcom recognised the remarks were made about her were sexist, but it needs to be able to impose meaningful sanctions for conduct of its kind, not just slap its perpetrators on the wrist should they be unwilling to change their behaviour. It's just what's infuriating me is that they've made these remarks as broadcast media journalists. That's kind of the perpetration of Fox obviously is not really been able to kind of walk away with it, and he will continue to spouse his stuff. But for me, what really has angered me is that while I'm glad that Dan Wootton is gone from GB News, it makes me, I'm infuriated that the police have found no evidence. There is so, like, there's all the stories that the people and the evidence that's been put together by Byline Times that we've covered even here on this channel. Does that not amount to anything at all? Like, are we really going to say that there's nothing here? That really does anger me. It really, really does. Like, are we really going to go out on our limb and say Byline Times made up all this? No. No, I really don't. I find that very hard to believe. And it just shows just how weak the police is. And the only reason Ofcom are so weak, are just as weak themselves. You know, we are literally, the public have to push Ofcom to absolutely do something about bloody GB News. That's a really thing that really pisses me off as well. It's just not good enough. Just not good enough in any way, shape or form, guys. These guys have made comments and allegedly such actions, and they're allowed to get away with it. Whereas ordinary people on the street, if they did the same thing, they would straight away feel the full extent of the law. But because of who they are and their status, they're able to get away with it. It's not right. So what do you guys think? What do you make of this? Dan Wootton's finally gone from GB News. Are we going to see him more again? What do you guys make still of Laurence Fox? No action taken against him. The police have not taken any action against Dan Wootton. How does that make you feel? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. Be greatly appreciated. Share it across social media. And hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified whenever I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.